Let's go! So you guys know I'm always honest with you. I was wrong about Bo Pelini, but it's not quite what you think. That's coming up in just a moment. You guys, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. We're so close. And don't forget live streams on Tuesday nights at 7 and after the games this year. No defensive adjustments. Deciding to stay in man coverage all game long. Look, Mississippi State's talented. Mike Leach is an all-time play caller. Costello is a talented quarterback. But this was not Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, and Terrell Owens in the slot. This was Mississippi State, okay? So I don't want to get too technical film study on this video. We did a film study on Myles Brennan. If you want to see that, there's a link here or in the description below. What I want to discuss were my preseason thoughts on Bo Pelini. Now, the funny thing was that I actually wasn't a huge Bo Pelini guy in the offseason. In fact, when I did a video for my friends at Chat Sports, Bo Pelini was number 6 on my defensive coordinator hot list. And the biggest reason why I didn't want him is because, well, he's not coached Division I football since 2015. When you haven't when you haven't coached against a big-time Division I play caller like Mike Leach, and you haven't coached Division I football since 2015, the game has changed so much. Derek Stingley Jr. drastically changes your game plan. When you know you can trust one guy to shut down one side of the field, there's a reason why you play man coverage, because you don't have to have safety help on that side. Well, Stingley, less than 24 hours before the game, gets sick, can't play the game, so Bo Pelini decided to stick with the initial game plan, and let's be honest, he stuck with it too long. But outside of Stingley, there was a lot of outside forces working against him. Obviously, the lack of preparation, with everything that's going on right now, the youth, the lack of experience, and LSU's offense wasn't that great to start. They had 2 first downs on their first 4 drives that all resulted in punts. Then you had the pick 6, which forced the defense to be at a huge disadvantage in time of possession and snap count. So, a unit that had already lost so many good players, they lost their overall best athlete in Kerry Vincent Jr. this offseason. You know, when you lose that many players, especially your best one, that close before the game, there's going to be issues. So the offense also deserves some blame for the defense. But you should never, ever give up over 600 yards through the air. Now, I was right about my skepticism of Bo Pelini. This is where I was wrong, and I love being honest with you guys because I was totally wrong about it, and it blows my mind. So this was episode 30 before the year began. Bo Pelini's one big question: if LSU's defense is going to be successful, they have to do this one thing. Well, they did that one thing. Generate pass rush. That's the wildest thing about this whole thing, okay? If LSU wasn't getting to the quarterback, if LSU didn't have a real pass rush threat, I could kind of sort of see 600 yards being a little bit more excusable. But that was not the case. LSU really found something with Ali Gaye. Now, I know it's just one game, but with all due respects to Caleb Von Chason and all the other defensive ends that preceded him, I don't remember an end in the modern era outside of Arden Key that had as dominant of a pass rushing performance as Ali Gaye did against Mississippi State. Neil Farrell also had a good game. This was a guy that was supposedly supposed to sit out. I also saw Ika get some good pass rush up the middle. Very, very happy with what Ed Orgeron, Coach Jenkins, and that crew did. Christian Lacouture, Benny Logan, the list goes on and on. The defensive line did their job. If you are given a pass rush, There is no excuse for you to not be able to generate some defensive coverages that causes Mississippi State to, at least not throw for 600 yards. But once again, this was Bo Pelini's first game. Yes, you're paying him north of $2 million, but this is what happens when you allow a coach to take over the defense who lost a lot of good players, and he hadn't coached a Division I game since 2015. So when you factor all of that in, it's a disaster. Then at safety, Todd Harris is a great story. Overcoming the knee injury. I like Todd Harris, but I think Mo Hampton is the better option alongside JaCoby Stevens. Now, who do you play in the slot? Well, your dream secondary would be JaCoby Stevens and Hampton, Cordell Flott in the slot, Stingley and Ricks on the outside. Who you put at the slot really is up in the air. Do you put Jay Ward in the slot? Do you put Ricks in the slot? Do you put Stingley in the slot, allowing him to have a little bit more of a playmaking role? It's hard to guard the slot, especially on those crossing routes. Maybe Stingley playing the slot isn't a bad option. I don't know. But you've got to mix coverages up, and that was a big problem. In fact, we had Mississippi State fans commenting on our video, and they were super nice, but it's one thing when we say it, it's another thing when the opposing team who's benefiting from these bad coverages are saying, well, I was kind of shocked that LSU kept playing the same coverage over and over. So, yeah, it's a mess, but hopefully LSU can fix it. How about that? What a video. You guys, we are growing. Please keep subscribing. Please keep telling everyone about our content. There's a lot for us to get to this week. Coming up tomorrow, we, of course, have our live stream. We're pretty excited about that. Every Tuesday night this year at 7 p.m. Don't forget, it's going to be fantastic. I say tomorrow. You could be watching this video whenever. So, Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. And then our post-game live stream was a big hit. We had well over 100 people in there. So, yeah, tell your friends. Every single game, when the game ends, you can watch on this very channel a live stream. And it's all you guys. I give a few thoughts, but I'm mostly responding to your questions. All right, subscriber shout out, our boy Blanche. What's up, Blanche? I really enjoyed this Myles Brennan breakdown. Hey, I appreciate that. Though I thought LSU would win way more than 5 games, I also know this was a rebuild year, and really only care about beating the Mullins. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, Florida looked really good. I mean, really good. Kyle Pitts is the real deal at tight end. So, yeah, that'll be huge if LSU could beat Florida, but let's worry about Missouri and Vanderbilt first. Appreciate the comment, Blanche. How about this from Game of Thrones? How do you say her name? I didn't watch the show. Daenerys? I didn't watch the show. I'm the only person that didn't watch Game of Thrones, I think. There was some disagreement here on my analysis of one of the plays. So if you want to watch it, once again, go check it out. I want your feedback on every video that I do. So Mr. LSU Jackson, after that first big hit, he started to see ghost. Once again, there's no replication. Replication, is that a word? There's no way you can replicate getting hit in a game. So, yeah, that's a good point. Sven, what do you guys expect from a team that loses 90% of their starters plus their elite OC? I've said that multiple times in videos. If you go back historically, I dedicated an entire episode to this. We also brought it back in our Tyler Shelvin and Jamar Chase video. Historically, if you look at the years that LSU lost more than 6 draft picks to the NFL, those were LSU's worst years. The years that they lost 6 or less, well, they had better years, including in 2019 where they only lost 3 NFL draft picks. Anthony says Myles is the worst quarterback in LSU history. Really? 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 So here's the thing. you got to give this guy more than just one game. Now, if he struggles these next 2 games, that's where you really got to start rethinking things. I think that's just the very simple conundrum that we're in right now. Oh, there we go. Once again, we have lots and lots of comments. I try my best to reply to all of them. It can get tough sometimes, so yeah, I appreciate you guys being passionate about this team that we love so much. You guys can hit me up personally on Twitter at CarterThePower, and that makes it all fun. One thing I will say, please be nice in the comments. It's okay if you get argumentative a little bit, but make sure you keep make sure you keep the conversation civil. Don't get into personal name calling or personal attacks, because this is the internet and comment sections can get like that. I want this to be healthy LSU discussion. It's Power Hour LSU. Bomb. Ooh. I think I got some leftover ribs. Kind of a rib kind of guy.